Have you ever heard of a secret so powerful that, for centuries, it remained hidden within stories and symbols, reserved for those who dared to see beyond? Many believe that Jesus, through his words, left us a valuable key to unlock the path to the inner kingdom, and that this path runs through the pineal gland, a portal to a higher consciousness. This idea challenges traditional beliefs, revealing that the divine is not distant or outside us but lives within, waiting to be awakened. Does it sound impossible? Perhaps intriguing? The truth is that our limited understanding of spirituality and religion prevents us from seeing the sacred we carry within. But what if I told you it's possible to activate this gland, to truly access this Christ consciousness, experiencing a life with greater purpose and connection? Imagine a state of peace, clarity, and self-awareness, all within our reach, if we understand and follow the path. That's what we're going to explore. In ancient times, there was a profound and valuable secret carefully preserved in stories, parables, and sacred texts. It was not something that anyone could easily find or understand, as this wisdom had to be protected. Those who mastered this hidden knowledge knew that, in times of persecution, it was essential to keep the truth concealed. It was like a coded message, waiting for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. Today, these texts still exist and remain accessible, but to grasp their true message, one must look beyond the surface, reading with both an open heart and mind. Within the Bible itself, intriguing clues emerge, reserved for those willing to look beyond the literal meaning of the words. The phrase, "Christ is in you," is one of these signs, a key to understanding that the true temple of God is not a place outside of us. On the contrary, it's a sacred space that exists within each person's body and consciousness. This means that accessing the divine doesn't require travel to distant places but an inward journey, where the kingdom is within reach for those who sincerely seek it. Today, we will explore an ancient secret present in various spiritual traditions worldwide. This knowledge invites us to uncover the power of the pineal gland, which is often associated with Christ consciousness. In spiritual language, it is the gateway to a higher perception and an expanded view of reality. And what makes this fascinating is that by activating this gland, we experience a connection that transcends the physical, something deeper and more transformative than we can imagine. Even in the silence of ancient times, the phrase, "Christ is in you," resonates as a powerful truth, inviting each person to discover the divine within. Contrary to what is often believed, the temple of God is not an external or distant place. It reveals itself within our body, within our essence. It's as if we carry a secret sanctuary to which only we hold the key. Recognizing this is an awakening, an opportunity to look inward and realize that what we seek outside might be closer than we think. The path to the divine is an inner journey, something that no guide or sacred place can fully provide. This concept is reinforced by many spiritual traditions pointing to the importance of turning inward, silencing the world around us, and listening to the soul's whisper. Meditation, for example, becomes a valuable tool here. It's a way to connect with this inner presence, like a bridge that leads us to feel the living and pulsating divinity within ourselves. Uncovering the inner kingdom means breaking with the view that the sacred is in something or someone outside of us. This perception is a profound rupture, challenging us to take responsibility for our spiritual growth. It's an invitation to seek, not externally, but within each experience, the divine presence. By doing this, we draw closer to our true selves, opening doors to self-knowledge and discovering new possibilities for expansion and healing. There is a deep secret, preserved in various spiritual traditions, about the pineal gland and its connection with Christ consciousness. This small gland, hidden at the center of the brain, is called the third eye by many and is considered a bridge to the divine, a portal allowing us to access a more expanded and profound perception of reality. It is as if it were the link between the physical and the spiritual, something that few understand deeply. Activating this gland is, for many, the beginning of a transformative journey that transcends ordinary understanding. Christ consciousness, in this context, does not refer solely to a religious figure but to a heightened state of awareness that everyone has the potential to reach. This consciousness represents a direct connection with unconditional love, compassion, and universal wisdom. When the pineal gland is stimulated, it opens a channel to experience this state on a personal level. Many say this activation brings a sense of peace, mental clarity, and even inner visions, as if the soul itself begins to see beyond the boundaries of the physical world. For those pursuing this path, some practices help awaken this gland and experience this higher awareness. Meditation, deep breathing techniques, and even controlled exposure to sunlight are recommended for activating the pineal. These habits stimulate the gland and strengthen the bond between body, mind, and spirit, creating a balance that allows for clearer access to this higher state of perception and transformation. Within the brain lies an essential fluid known as the Christ oil, which plays a significant role in connecting the mind and spirit. This sacred fluid is produced in a region of the brain called the claustrum and descends through the spinal cord, nourishing and energizing the body. In ancient times, it was known as Christos, and its journey through the body is seen as a symbolic path to enlightenment. This oil is not just a substance, it's a representation of the divine essence we all carry, waiting for the right moment to ascend. When the oil reaches the sacral plexus, it transforms, nourishing the body's foundation and preparing for an ascension that elevates its spiritual qualities. This process is compared to an inner alchemy, where raw material is refined, just as our consciousness elevates throughout life. Many believe that by preserving and channeling this energy, the body becomes a worthy dwelling for the spirit, in harmony with the peace and balance of Christ consciousness.
Want to transform your life from the inside out? Check out our ebook with practical tools for real change. Go to the pinned comment, click the link, and see how to start your transformation today.
For those who wish to experience this oil's ascension journey, practices such as retaining vital energy and maintaining a balanced diet are essential. Avoiding excesses, leading a balanced lifestyle, and reserving moments of silence and introspection are ways to preserve and direct this energy toward the body's higher centers. Over time, this dedication promotes a spiritual elevation that is reflected in mental clarity and a deeper understanding of existence. There is an ancient tradition that states that each month, when the moon aligns with our birth position, divine seed is created and deposited in the solar plexus, above the sacral plexus. This seed represents a universal creative energy, the vital principle from which all things are born. In various cultures, this seed is seen as the rebirth of Christ within us, renewing our being and connecting us with the divine essence. Just as the moon influences the tides, this lunar alignment profoundly affects us, activating this latent energy. In esoteric Christianity, this process is symbolized by the birth of Christ in Bethlehem, with Bethlehem representing the solar plexus, the center of strength that receives this seed. Each month, we have the opportunity to nurture this energy so that it can grow and develop within us. By cultivating an internal environment of peace and balance, we allow this seed to grow and rise, joining with the Christ oil on its journey toward the center of consciousness. To harmonize with this natural cycle, practices such as observing the lunar cycle and fasting are recommended. Maintaining a routine of meditation and introspection during these days favors the growth of this seed. This monthly ritual can be seen as an opportunity to align with cosmic forces, allowing this seed to reach its true potential, nurturing our body and soul for a deeper connection with the sacred. Within the body, there are energy channels called Ida and Pingala, representing the feminine and masculine forces in our chakra system. These channels, which wind along the spine, transport vital energy and facilitate the spiritual oil's ascent toward higher consciousness. In practice, Ida and Pingala act as conduits of energy, balancing and uniting the opposite poles, like the magnetism that binds heaven and earth. This union is essential for the activation of Christ consciousness, as it integrates the complementary aspects of our essence. Ida, associated with lunar and magnetic energy, is linked to the pituitary gland and symbolizes the intuitive and receptive side. Pingala, with its solar and electric energy, connects to the pineal gland and represents the rational and active aspect. When these two channels are balanced, they create a harmonious flow that enables the sacred oil's elevation. It is like joining two forces into one, creating the ideal environment for higher consciousness to flourish. This energetic union is the essence of many spiritual teachings worldwide. To facilitate this process, breathing exercises, such as alternate nostril breathing, help balance Ida and Pingala, promoting a state of inner harmony. Additionally, yoga and meditation practices aid in circulating this energy along the spine, nourishing the body and mind with spiritual strength. By integrating these forces within us, we create the foundation for the Christ oil to travel its path and activate our highest perception. In some traditions, paradise is described as a land of milk and honey, a symbol of the balance and abundance we can achieve by harmonizing body and mind. This idea is represented in human physiology by the pineal gland, which secretes a golden substance similar to honey, and by the pituitary gland, which produces a liquid akin to milk. This sacred milk and honey symbolizes the connection between the physical and the spiritual, bringing the balance needed to access Christ consciousness. These secretions are seen as nourishment for the soul, sustenance for those seeking a state of spiritual elevation. When the pineal and pituitary glands are in harmony, they create an energetic flow that elevates our state of consciousness. This natural process is like an opening to the internal paradise, where one finds peace and clarity. Thus, the milk and honey that flow within us are signs that the body is ready to rise to a new level of understanding. To promote this flow of milk and honey, practices such as a balanced diet, adequate sleep, and natural light exposure can help. Avoiding toxins and cultivating positive thoughts also supports these glands functioning. By taking care of the body with these habits, we open the way for the sacred within us to manifest, creating a deeper connection with our own essence. The journey of the oil along the spine is symbolically compared to the crucifixion and ascension of Christ. When this sacred oil reaches the top of the spine, it meets the optic thalamus, a central structure in the brain, where a profound transformation occurs. This point is seen as the crucifixion point, where common consciousness dissolves, giving way to a new perception. The experience is described as a symbolic death of the ego, clearing the path for a direct connection with the divine. This process of oil ascension represents the abandonment of earthly limitations and the elevation of consciousness to a higher state of spirit. It is as if spiritual energy rises toward its maximum point, just as Christ ascended to heaven. Those who experience this transformation report a deep sense of peace, mental clarity, and an ability to view life from a new perspective, as if they were born again. To facilitate this ascension, practices such as meditation and guided visualization are recommended. Focusing on the point between the eyebrows during meditation, for instance, helps direct energy to this sacred brain region. By maintaining a gentle focus and controlled breathing, one can experience the initial steps of this elevation, feeling the benefits of a more awakened and connected consciousness. When the oil reaches the optic thalamus, it activates millions of dormant brain cells, awakening a new perception and promoting body and mind regeneration. This process is like an inner rebirth, where Christ consciousness emerges, bringing with it a clarity and vitality that was previously inaccessible. With these cells activated, the brain begins to operate at a higher level, expanding perception and intuition, something many describe as an enlightened state. This awakening of brain cells is also a profound healing, as these new cells help release toxins and strengthen the nervous system. It is as if the body renews itself with each breath, reflecting the spiritual rebirth that occurs on the mental plane. Those who experience this process report greater serenity, an enhanced ability to connect with the divine, and a renewed sense of purpose, as if life gains new meaning. To preserve this new awareness, it's important to adopt healthy habits and avoid practices that could exhaust the body, such as excessive alcohol consumption or an unbalanced diet. Fasting and introspection practices are also ways to nurture this awakened consciousness, providing continuous clarity. This renewal cycle keeps the transformation flame alive, allowing individuals to continue experiencing spiritual elevation throughout life. Behind every inner transformation, there is an ancient message inviting us to preserve and elevate the Christ oil. Over the centuries, practices involving the maintenance of this vital energy have been described as ways to prolong life and achieve higher consciousness. By retaining and nurturing this oil, we let go of behaviors and habits that drain our energy and make space for a fuller and deeper spirituality. This practice is essentially a way of transmuting our being to a more subtle and divine level. The challenge is to remain faithful to this purpose, avoiding distractions and impulses that draw us away from this elevated energy. Embracing this discipline is an act of self-love, a way of honoring the divine that resides within us. This means cultivating a self-care routine that involves everything from healthy eating to meditation, thus preserving the essence of the Christ oil and channeling it to the higher centers of the body. For those who wish to experience this ascension, practicing patience and constancy is essential, remembering that every small step counts. Over time, this accumulated energy becomes a true spiritual fuel, leading individuals to experience a more enlightened state of consciousness. This elevation cycle is continuous, allowing us to explore new layers of understanding about ourselves and the universe. Now, the question remains, are you ready to walk this path? Ready to experience the awakening of a consciousness that few have dared to access? Remember, this knowledge isn't just a beautiful theory, it needs to be lived. Adopting meditation practice, healthy eating, avoiding what drains your body and spirit. All of this is essential to see the fruits of this knowledge. So, what's stopping you from starting? Apply these teachings, experience each step, and allow this divine oil to elevate your being to a new level. And if this content brought you value, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications so you don't miss any new reflections on the inner awakening. See you on the journey.